Chapter 5. The Martial Exhibition. Each Pandava brother excelled in a particular area. Bhima was the strongest and the best with the mace, but he was equally rivaled with Duryodhana. Yudhisthira was the best spearman and chariot fighter. Nakul and Sahadev were the best swordsmen. Asvatthama excelled all in celestial weapons, but Arjuna excelled everybody in everything, and he soon became an Atiratha, a warrior capable of fighting 60,000 warriors at once. One day, Drona tested his students' abilities by having them aim at a wooden bird in a tree. Yudhisthira went first. Drona asked him, "What do you see?" And Yudhisthira said, "I see all the other students around me, the tree and the bird." Drona was displeased with the answer and called Duryodhana up, whom had a similar answer. And so did everyone after that, until Arjuna stepped forward. And when asked, he replied, "I can only see the bird's head." Drona was satisfied and told Arjuna to shoot. Arjuna's arrow struck the wooden bird directly in the eye, and Drona embraced Arjuna out of affection, only increasing Duryodhana's and the Kauravas' envy. One day, while going to bathe in the river, Drona allowed himself to be captured by a crocodile, and instead of taking care of it himself, he cried out for help. All his students froze in fear, except for Arjuna, who instantly let loose arrows, slaying the beast and freeing his teacher. Drona was so happy with Arjuna that he granted him the Brahmastra weapon, which had the capability to destroy the world. Drona knew it was time for the citizens to witness the prowess of the princes. So he approached King Dhritarashtra and asked him if he could set up a martial exhibition. With the king's blessings, he and Vidura began to construct an immaculate coliseum outside the city, equipped with golden thrones and wooden seats inlaid with coral, pearls, and gems. On an auspicious day, the event was set to take place, and the royal family led the way in, followed by a vast amount of citizens. Drums beat, conch shells were blown, and trumpets played as everyone found their seats. Drona entered the arena with his son. He had Brahmins bless the arena with mantras, and melodious music was played. The princes entered, headed by Yudhisthira, wearing brilliant armor and equipped with many weapons. They began showing their prowess on horseback and chariots by shooting arrows into targets both moving and non-moving. Thousands of arrows flew, and the crowd was amazed at their accuracy. Then the princes drew their swords and charged at one another, parrying attacks and slashing at each other expertly. Next, Drona brought forth Bhima and Duryodhana for a mace duel. The two glared at each other as they circled, then let out fierce war cries as they swiftly slung their maces at one another. The crowd was getting into it, and the fighters were getting a little too into it, so Drona sent his son to break it up. Even after they were done, they still glared at each other. Then Drona introduced Arjuna, whom was incomparable in all the martial arts. Arjuna walked in clad in golden armor. With a golden quiver, he strode forward like a lion and struck fear in all whom he looked upon. Many exclaimed his glories, and Dhritarashtra wondered why his sons had not been cheered for so loudly. Arjuna then began to display his celestial weapons. Going full avatar, he summoned and controlled fire, water, wind, rain, and land, then made them all disappear. He then displayed mystical powers by becoming as large as a palm tree, then as small as a thumb. He basically teleported from the ground to his chariot, and Drona let loose a mechanical bull which Arjuna shot 5 arrows into its mouth, all in the same spot, and 20 arrows into its horn. He then pulled out his sword and mace and displayed many dexterous moves. The exhibition was almost over, and the crowd began to die down, when there were sounds of a great warrior shouting and slapping his arms as he entered into the arena. The crowd became anxious, wondering if there was a god approaching. In strode a man covered in golden armor, which seemed to be part of his body, and earrings that blazed like fire. He bowed indifferently to Drona and declared himself, "I am Karna," and he asked permission to show his skills, and promised they were excelling those of Arjuna. The crowd went wild. Karna approached the center of the arena and expertly displayed all the celestial and martial abilities that Arjuna had. After Karna was done, Duryodhana ran forward to embrace him. Finally, there was someone to check the haughty Arjuna, and Karna intended to do just that. He asked Duryodhana, "Can I fight Arjuna?" and Arjuna was glad to hear it. He at once felt a rivalry upon seeing the arrogant Karna and told him to bring it on. Karna told Arjuna that he should fight with arrows and not words, and Drona nodded at Arjuna. It was about to go down, but Kripa stepped forward and asked, Karna, what is your lineage? Duels are only meant to be fought by equals. Karna blushed, and in seeing so, Duryodhana instantly granted him a kingdom. Heavy clouds moved in, and lightning flashed as rainbows appeared, but the sun still shone on Karna. The crowd grew ever more anxious, and Kunti fainted. Vidura woke her up and asked what's wrong, but she couldn't speak the truth. Then, as the fight was about to start, an old man came hobbling up to Karna and congratulated him on his coronation. This man was his father, a chariot driver. Bhima laughed out loud and made fun of Karna's heritage. Duryodhana censored Bhima and noted that there were many strange births in history, and upon seeing Karna's abilities, noted he was surely born from somewhere else. But as Duryodhana's speech ended, the sun set, and the exhibition was over. There would be no duel today. Everyone left, and Kunti reminisced on that fateful day she had accidentally summoned the sun god Surya, wanting to test her mantra, and how she had been granted a son who was encased in golden armor with golden earrings, but out of fear of reprimandment, she had cast the child away and put him in a basket in the Ganges, where he must have been found by the charioteer.